Alright, hello, citizens of the Nigelverse. It is Nigel here, and today I've got another tier list for you guys. So, today we are looking at a man who is the best there is at what he does, but what he does ain't pretty. I am talking about Mr. Wolverine, aka Logan, here. So, we got our costumes, we got our tiers down here, which let me show them off real quick. We got, of course, the S tier, aka Astonishing this time around, because Astonishing X-Men and everything. We have A tier, which we have. I'll explain them in just a moment. But we have A tier, we have B tier, we have C tier, we have D tier. So for S tier means that, excuse me, the tiers are, and not the tiers. The costume is very good, very solid, just one of the best of all time. Really fantastic, definitely iconic, definitely worthy of the top spot. A tier is still a really good costume, just not really S tier good, but still a really fantastic, awesome costume. B tier is a good costume, but not enough for A or S. It's kind of more like the middle ground. C tier is like meh, kind of eh. It's like one or two things keeping you from the bottom of the barrel, which the bottom of the barrel is D tier. That means this costume is garbage. But without further ado, let's get right into it. So, starting off with the brown and yellow, or tan and yellow, as people call it. Now, this is also unlike a lot of the other costumes we usually, or ties we usually do for like the wrestlers such as Johnny Gargano, Seth Rollins, which check out those tier lists, or the Iron Man one we did for System Shock Radio episode 75. Check that out. These aren't really in a timeline order, and to be honest with you guys, it was actually pretty difficult to find costumes for Wolverine. I was surprised at how little costumes there were out there to find for Wolverine. I was able to find quite a few, but yeah, I was surprised at how difficult it was to find costumes. But starting off, we got the brown and yellow costume. This one is like a lot of people's favorites. Me personally, while it's a pretty good costume for the most part, I don't know if I'd call it like my favorite. It is very iconic. It's a very iconic look for Wolverine, but I don't know if I like it as much as like the blue and yellow costumes. But it's still pretty cool. I like how not only do we get the brown here, but we get like a bit of like a browner tint to this yellow. It looks closer, almost like gold, almost. Or maybe it's a brown and tan costume. Maybe this is where the tan comes in. But still, really good costume. Just not my absolute favorite, but because of its, that's how iconic it is, and because a lot of people still like it, and because it's still an okay costume, I am going to put this in A tier. Really good costume, just not my favorite, honestly. Next up is the classic blue and yellow. So, this is like first appearance Wolverine and everything. This earlier costume, which, fun fact, he was originally going to be called Badger, but the name was changed to Wolverine, which thank goodness they did that. As for this costume, though, I'm not really feeling it. I get it; it's very iconic and everything. It's that early image, but the fact that this like visor part with like the cowl and everything is so skinny, and then there's kind of the claws which are coming out at more of an angle instead of like straight up. They're coming at more of an angle. Well, plus there's no like little holes for the claws to come out of. They just go right through the glove. And then this big belt, which Wolverine has like big belts, but this is just like a big regular belt, not like the X logo like we see with the other costumes. In fact, this one has the X logo here, but and yeah, I'm not really feeling this one as much. Although this one's more like a prototypical, I guess, if that's one way of looking at it. Like, it would lead up to a costume that we'll get to, obviously. But for this one, the original, unfortunately, I gotta go with C tier. I recognize its importance. I recognize how iconic it is, but But yeah, I gotta put it in C. The X-Men, though, this one is probably this is like very recognizable. Wolverine costume. He's got the nice big cowl, which someone pointed out a long time ago. It looks like two Batmen just standing side by side, and now I can't unsee it. Now every time I look at Wolverine's cowl here, it looks like two Batmen, but he's got the blue and everything, the nice big like blue shoulder pads instead of like the skinny ones right here. He's got actual holes for the claws to come out of. He's got that blue. He's got the X belt. He's got the yellow here, and he's got the black lines and everything on the suit. So, this leads up to this, but this one is like very iconic. Probably my absolute favorite Wolverine costume. So because of that, the X-Men Wolverine costume is going in astonishing tier. This is our first astonishing tier X-Men suit for Wolverine here. Next up is yes, the X-Force, and peep this image here. This is really cool. But the X-Force, I like it, honestly. This is another one of like a lot of people's favorites. Not my absolute favorite, but it's still pretty cool. I like the silver and the black. Very simplistic colors, but I think it works really well. Plus, that was kind of the X-Force team uniform. I like the red eyes that Wolverine has here, and then the X logo on the belt. I think that's pretty cool. And a lot of these extra buckles and everything. I think it works for the most part, and a lot of people do really like this costume. In fact, I believe it might have been What Culture who said it was their favorite Wolverine costume. I wouldn't say all that, but it's still really cool. So this one, I think I'll put in B. So X-Force is our first B tier. So we've got one, and so far in our first 4 tiers here. Nothing in D tier yet. But next up is the Astonishing X-Men. This one I really like. It looks very much like this one or like this one, but with some changes, kind of a bit of a modern flavor to it. The cowl's a little bit skinnier, or a little bit shorter, but still very big, which I do like. The black that used to be here and like the side pieces here is now yellow. He's got the blue going down into the pants now. Same with the yellow going down into the pants now. It's not like very separated like it was here, and then you got the tights there. It's now separated. It's got the X logo there. He's got some new buckles and everything on both the gloves and the boots. So this is a really cool looking image for Wolverine, or a costume I should say, for Wolverine. So I think this we will put in A. So Astonishing X-Men, it will be in A tier here. So, yeah, really good looking costume in my opinion. Next up is Weapon X. Now, this one on paper it's pretty basic at first. At first glance, it's a very basic look because it's essentially just underwear and the headpiece and the wires and everything. And although, I believe in the original comics Wolverine actually was like naked, but this is, of course, Weapon X is when Wolverine has the adamantium fused to his skull, but or his entire skeleton, I should say. I know, a lot of people associate the skull with just like the head, but no, the adamantium went to his entire skeleton. But this one definitely gets bonus points and merit throughout because of how iconic it is. This is a very iconic Wolverine look with the helmet and the wires and the claws and everything. And just for it being iconic, it's definitely at least a B tier. It's very simplistic, but how iconic it is definitely is what gives it the nod for B tier. So next up is Old Man Logan. Pretty cool look for Wolverine, and honestly, the Old Man Logan book, if you haven't already, I definitely recommend giving that a read. It's very sad, but it's still really cool. But I do like this look, how he looks old and scruffy and everything. He's got the jacket, and he kind of looks like an old man, but still really cool, especially with the claws and everything. And he's got like the shirt and the pants and everything. And so, yeah, so Old Man Logan, I think, is definitely an A. Like I said, definitely recommend reading it. It's kind of sad and also very gory, but still a lot of fun. Next up is Ultimate Marvel. Now, this one I do like for the most part. It is a bit simplistic, but not really enough to bother me. It's still got like the yellow here, and it's got some designs on the shoulders, so it's not that basic, I should say. He's got the X logo on the chest here this time, similar to like how Cyclops has his. He's got the belt with like the X there, or so just like the older costumes and everything like that. He's got the yellow buckle on the pants, and he's got the short gloves, not like the long ones this time around, but he's got the short ones. And I also dig how the suit itself this time is blue, or maybe black. It's either black or like very dark blue, but yeah, so really cool look. So this one I think I will give A tier as well. Yeah, this one I will definitely put in A tier. So Ultimate Wolverine is going to be A tier. Next up is Street Gear. So it's just Wolverine as civilian, just when he's out and about, usually at a bar or something like that, and then somebody challenges him to a fight, but you don't do that to Wolverine. But very simplistic, but usually pretty iconic stuff, seeing him in like the tank top and the jeans and everything. And this ended up getting like reflected into comics because of the movies and everything, for the most part. So, but you see here, it's like battle damage. There's rips in his shirt and his pants and everything, and the bloody claws. So the Street Gear, I think I'm gonna go with B. Not it's only a costume by like only mainly by definition, but still a Wolverine look, which is why it's here. Next up is the Age of Apocalypse. Now this one is a little bit weird in my opinion, but still pretty cool. Which again, something I have to reiterate. These are my opinions. If you disagree with these, that is totally fine. But yeah, a little weird, but still pretty cool. Like the black bodysuit. He's got the red here and on the glove and everything. Missing the hand, which his hand was chopped off in this storyline. And so, another iconic Wolverine look, even if it is a bit basic. So for that, I will give it B. So B is going to be Age of Apocalypse Wolverine. Yeah, I think I spelled that right. Oh, there we go. I think, right? Yeah. I promise I know how to spell, mostly. Next up, we've got Patch. And this is a really cool look with the suit and the eye patch, which I forget the lore exactly behind the eye patch, but yeah, it's a really cool look, and I like the suit, very suave of Wolverine and everything in this suit, and the eye patch. This I will definitely put in A. So a lot of A tiers in this video. So Patch is going in A tier. Again, and only really a costume by definition, but still another pretty iconic one. A lot of people really like the patch look for Wolverine. Next up is Marvel Now. This one, I'm not gonna lie, I want to like it, but it's a little weird. Maybe it's just this image, but all the yellow and everything in here all the way through the sleeves, and then I believe the blue is on this part of the sleeve, unlike the inside of the sleeve, it's kind of throwing me off a little bit. I'm not gonna lie. Hey, I feel like there's a little too much yellow. He kind of tries to make up for it in the pants section, but I don't know. It is pretty cool for the most part, but a little weird. So I think this one I will put in. I don't think I want to put it in C, but I definitely gonna put it in B. So Marvel now will be in B. Next up, we kind of get into like this is it for like comic costumes for Wolverine. Now we get into like media and stuff like the movies and TV shows. Starting with the X-Men movies. This is Wolverine's look for the X-Men movies. Of course, Hugh Jackman, iconic as Wolverine, even though he is technically too tall to play the role of Wolverine, he definitely got away with it. And man, this is a really cool costume. Some people were a bit upset that he didn't have the helmet or like the cowl and everything, and they did tease at it in one of the X-Men movies. He decided not to wear it, but otherwise, still a pretty cool look here. Or like the big X right there, and this X logo right here. Or I like the designs throughout. It looks like more like a leather suit with like the gloves and everything, and it's a really cool looking. I like the yellows and stuff up as well. So yeah, pretty cool stuff. So this I will put in. Do I want to put it in B or an A? I think I think I'll put it in A. So X-Men movie he is going in A, and man, it's been a while since I've seen the X-Men movies. But next up is Days of Future Past. This one I don't like as much as like this one. This one is a bit simple, but still has a lot going on at the same time, if that makes any sense, which it probably doesn't. But this one I feel like it has even less. I do like the blue and the yellow here. That's a very nice touch. But otherwise, it does look a bit generic in terms of costume design. But again, that's just my opinion. And if you disagree with that, that is totally fine. But I think this one, I may have to put it in C. Sorry, man. And Days of Future Past, from what I remember, was an okay movie. It's been a little while, but yeah. So unfortunately, that one I got put in C. I'm sorry, but yeah. Next up, the '90s X-Men TV show. Oh, I was tempted to put for the image so you guys could see the costume. I was tempted to put the one where he's looking at the photo, but kind of being a dead horse a little bit, but still really cool look, and I like how it's based off the comic costume that he had. This one right here, so this one right here, I like how this was the main basis for his look in the cartoons, and it's very cartoony, but still looks really cool. Well, and Wolverine in that show in general was like a beast. So this one, I think, I think I'm going to put this in Astonishing. And I think that's partially because I really like the show, but the costume, I do like how it plays off of how he looks in the comics. I think that's a really cool touch. And finally, we have Logan, the final, well, kind of, because he did make like a cameo appearance in Deadpool 2, but the final like proper Hugh Jackman as Wolverine role in Logan here, and what a perfect send off. Man, this movie was. If you've never seen this movie, I definitely recommend it. This movie's a bit of a tearjerker though. Like, I don't cry a whole lot nowadays, but when I first saw this in theaters when it came out. Not gonna lie, this one almost got me, but nevertheless, it's a really cool looking look and everything, and I like how it has some basis with like the old man Logan look here, with like the gray hair and everything, and and a lot of like that scruffy looks and stuff like that. That Wolverine had. He has kind of the suit and everything because he was a taxi driver and stuff like that. And seeing a lot of the stuff, such like him pulling his claws out in the movies, was pretty painful. So that attention to detail is great there. So yeah, just overall really good looking look for him. They did him really well. In fact, this one is going to go in. If my I thought my computer froze for a second. I was about to be super sad, but yeah. So this one is definitely going in astonishing. Is a really cool looking look, and I like how they pulled off the look here in the Logan movie. So there you have it. That's the Wolverine tier list. Again, I was surprised to not find a whole lot of costumes. I was tempted to put X-23 in here, but I wanted it to be like Wolverine, aka Logan. But nevertheless, we have in astonishing tier, aka our S tier, we have X-Men, 90s X-Men, and Logan. In A tier, we have Brown and Yellow, Astonishing X-Men, Old Man Logan, Ultimate Marvel, Patch, and the X-Men movies. In B tier, we have X-Force, Weapon X, Street Gear, Age of Apocalypse, and Marvel Now. In C tier, we have the OG Blue and Yellow and Days of Future Past, and nothing in D tier this time around. So that is going to do it for this tier list. Thank you all so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed. If you did, please do me a favor, like the video, comment below your thoughts on not just my rankings on this tier list, but where do you rank these Wolverine attires? Subscribe if you haven't already. Turn on bell for notifications so you know every time I upload a video, so you can watch it as soon as it drops. Share it with your friends, and I will see you guys later. Peace.